very mystical atmosphere between the dreamlike and the melancholic. How do you describe your own style?
Yeah, I think you already described my music pretty well with like the most like mystical and mysterious touch, I think. If you want to put it in like a specific genre, it's very hard, I think, especially for a lot of musicians to just go in one strict direction. So I think I blend like all the elements together that inspire me a lot. I would describe it like very mystical. There are some dark elements, but not like in a very scary way, more like in a very touching, haunting way that sticks to you. And yeah, some Nordic Celtic elements, as you can hear in my debut single. Yeah, and the melancholy touch. That's just, I think that's always a bit there, but also not in a really negative way, more in a pretty nostalgic way for me personally, I would say. So yeah, it's like a blend out of those. Yeah, with some different kind of folk music, maybe like dark indie folk or like opera singing. It's a blend of everything of those like influences.
Which artists or genres have been your biggest inspirations in shaping your sound?
Artists is so hard to just name one, I would say. Like there are many great artists I'm listening to since my childhood. Same with direction. If I start with like the direction that inspires me a lot is, I would also say like a lot of metal. Since I'm a child, I was very inspired by metal, melodic metal especially, or core metal. But also then on the other hand, I really enjoyed opera music. I like to go to see operas, Italian arias, stuff like that. I used to sing myself, and I think you can hear it still when I sing in some of my songs. Yeah, and Celtic music, I would say, I grew up with Celtic music too. So yeah, definitely these different directions, also rock and punk music, everything in that direction. Artists is so hard to just name one. Let me think. Like artists that kind of like are with me through my whole life, I would say is Evanescence have a big impact on me growing up with those. Amy Lee, Nightwish, Bring Me the Horizon, Paramore, and maybe also some things of Enya. Like Enya is nostalgic too. So yeah, it's a funny mix now I say it, but
They are all really cool.
great artist, yes.
The best one for me is Emily.
Yeah, yeah. I would think so that you. I mean, she's a legend. I know.
I always cry with her songs. I can't help it. So in your songs, we can feel influences from folk, opera, and Celtic music. How do you balance all these references?
Yeah. So the different influences with the Celtic Nordic part, the opera, and then on the other hand, like this the dark indie folk or just indie folk in general. There is not like a strict rule how I balance it. Like this and this much of those. This and this is more how I feel it. So in especially like for example, Cold Shadow, my debut single. I had the melody that I really wanted with these Celtic haunting elements, and then the singing part, which would kind of haunt you too with my voice. I would say that was more in the opera singing direction. Yeah, and the indie folk music. I think it always depends a bit what I feel like and what gets out of me when I'm composing and creating music. So I think in the end it gets just that blend how I felt and want to express myself. And I think yeah, that's the way how I can touch the people who enjoy the music, I think.
What do you usually need to set into the creative state? Silence, landscapes, books?
Um, that's a good question to be inspired. So one thing that you mentioned is silence. That's a huge word for me. Silence and darkness, as you can hear it in Cold Shadow. Yeah, these words mean a lot to me and get me in a very inspiring state, not like in a weird way or in a negative way, like everything's got to be always dark. It's just I enjoy a dark environment when it's more gloomy light and it's more cool outside and stuff like that. And silence can be very inspiring too. These elements have a huge impact on me. I also very inspired by seasons, like especially fall and winter season, like the whole environment gets me in a very inspiring state. But also my own dreams, I would say that I dream at night. it's like a whole other story. It's like a whole blockbuster sometimes. But they can be very inspiring too, I would say. So yeah, nature definitely, or like a walk, cemeteries, everything that is like goes in this direction can be super inspiring to me personally. Yeah.
Do you usually write the lyrics first or the music?
For me personally, it's most often creating the music and the melody first. I would say you have something in your head that I'm composing, or I try it out on an instrument, and then after this, kind of like the lyrics get more and more into shape, I would say. But there are some situations where you have like a part of lyrics ready in your head and you just have to note it down. I think a lot of artists know that feeling when you just in the middle of the night you just have something going on in your head and you just need to note it down. That's possible too, but in the most cases for me, I would say creating the melody and the music that hits me first. Yeah.
How has your journey been from Switzerland to gaining visibility on international platforms?
Yeah, the feedback I'm receiving for my music internationally is amazing, because yeah, Switzerland is a smaller country. Also here, I'm really flattered with the feedback I'm getting, especially if you're in a special direction, like more not pop music, more in a direction that is maybe not too common. It's very funny because if you see the statistics or where like the people are that listen to your music or the feedback that I'm getting, a lot of people are in the States, in California, in Mexico, in Canada, which is very, very nice. The community in Los Angeles, especially. I also used to stay in California for a while too, so it's lovely that I still have like this community there. Yeah, and that people from all over the world get to hear my music is amazing. Yeah, I'm very thankful for that.
You participated in a film project, Come and Find Me. Are you interested in further connecting your music with cinema?
Yeah, um, that's another great question, because yes, Come and Find Me is a movie project I'm part of in the music department with my music too. And another huge passion of mine next to music is film, movies. I don't know how it is with you, but I love movies, especially yeah, horror, drama, thriller. I like a lot. So Come and Find Me is a thriller, drama, horror, which I can be part of and create music too for it. That's amazing, and I am definitely up. Yeah, I'm very excited always to collaborate with producers or people creating film, and to kind of connect the art of music and film and the film music and stuff. That is, yeah, that's really beautiful. Because when you see photos or pictures or a film, I can always hear music. And what would a movie be without film music? Uh, yeah, so definitely working more with those projects. And now Come and Find Me is in the festival phase, but I'm very excited for everything else that is coming and to be part of other film projects too.
Aesthetics are important in your work. What role does imaginary play in your music?
Um, can you repeat that last part again? I didn't.
Aesthetics are important in your work.
Hmm?
What role does imagery play in your music? Sorry,
Yeah,
I say
no, it might
it.
be connection, but I hope you can hear me well. Now I got it. Yeah. The aesthetic, how what role it has in music to me personally, because I'm also a very visual person, where I see, as I just mentioned before, pictures when I hear music, or when I watch something, I hear the music. I think aesthetic does have quite a part in it. I'm not really mean only like how the artists look to express themselves. I think you just have to be yourself. Same with the music. Go out with what you really love, what is nice to you, not to like please people or what people might like, more like what you like yourself. And the same with like how you look, or how the look of your socialies, or of your music, of the cover. But blending that all together, I think that you always get a vibe out of it. I think aesthetic might be very helpful for that. to figure out what kind of music might it be, or yeah, that you get surprised with something else. So it does have a part, because me personally, I really enjoy following or listening to other like musicians or creators where they also have this musical touch or the dark aesthetic and stuff that I really get inspired with. So yeah, I think it does have an impact, I'd say. So especially if you go maybe on a website or on my Instagram, you can also see a bit and then listen to the music. Maybe you will feel like you want to hear how the sound matches that person, I would say. But not really that it's important how a person looks like, or that you just dress up just to look a certain way. I just think if you can be your honest yourself and go out with your work, that's always the best.
If you had to describe your artistic universe in just one word, what would it be?
Oh, one word. One word is so hard. My artistic universe, I'd say probably mystical, like is yeah, or mysterious, something like that. There are so many other parts, like oh, dreamy, or yeah, the sentimental melancholy touch or something like that. But I would say just mystical. It's like you don't know really what's going on. It's like, oh, this is it that 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 girl in the cornfield. What is happening? Is it a horror movie, or is it what's happening? Yeah, it's like this mystical touch. I would say, if I just have to break it down to one word.
And which artist would you like to collaborate with in the future?
I guess so hard to name one. There are many. There are many good ones. Before, yeah, we talked about Amy Lee. She would be amazing to start with huge names. Amy Lee would be amazing, but bands like Bring Me the Horizon, Lorna Shore, or something, that would be, of course, that would be amazing to just have a track with those people. Yeah, or even Ivar, she it goes more into the Nordic folk direction. That would be amazing too. So yeah, I think there are quite a few artists I would enjoy to collaborate with. But I also used to collaborate with very beautiful artists. If we stay in the movie music, I'm a huge fan of the Tim Burton films and movies. So obviously Danny Elfman, the composer, that would be an absolute dream to collaborate with him on a movie. Sounds, but yeah, you can always dream, right?
Someday, maybe.
Who knows?
Anything can happen.
It can happen.
Are you working on a full album or do you prefer releasing singles?
I am working on a collection of singles, like something like an EP or maybe an album. Who knows? I will keep you guys updated. But I think still, if you get a collection in the end, that's very nice. So you know what belongs together. But I think releasing it as a single, I personally enjoy that a lot when artists do that, because you always get to enjoy single by single and not just the whole thing. So you have to figure it out yourself what's first. So I also enjoy actually releasing singles, so I can't really say what will be the next thing, if it's just a single or if it will be just the whole collection, but I assume it's going to be single after single, and in the end you get a collection. On the other hand, the album from the soundtrack Come and Find Me will be released very soon too, so you can stay updated on my Instagram. So this album will definitely be next.
What do you hope someone feels when listening to your music for the first time?
What I hope, I mean, from the feedback that I'm receiving from people listening to my music, it's very like touching, emotional. Like I got goosebumps. I almost cried, but I hope not in a very sad way. Touching, emotional way. Um, yeah, that it's like haunting. The voice is haunting, but also more in a mysterious way. It's like it really gets to you, and I want like my music to stick with you, like that it does something with you. It makes you think. Maybe it gives you a nostalgic feeling, like it gives for me. But nostalgia is different for everybody. But yeah, I think touching the people on like a very other kind of side, not only with the only super happy clappy songs, so more with the hint of melancholy, but still feeling very safe and very, very positive with it, I would say. Yeah, if that makes sense.
What record always travels with you?
Yeah, you can see I have trouble to always name someone thing. So if we have time, I can also name maybe a few tracks. I think you mean tracks that went through me from all my life, or just tracks that I could constantly listen to, probably, right?
Yes, the first one.
Yeah. So yeah, if I stay with tracks, I can connect it like with tracks that's followed through my whole life or for a very long time. I'm personally a person that if I enjoy a track, no matter how old or how new it is, I can listen to it for weeks and only one song. I don't know. I know other people do that too, but it's actually so random. I just keep listening to it until something else pops up, and then I keep listening to this song for like 5 weeks. One of those songs I would say is that always hits me is like Pain Remains from Lorna Shore. Another Life from Twin Tribes, they're amazing. Amazing too. Almost actually every song, but I think Another Life. Itokuni, it's like the version from Ivor that I like a lot. There are a lot of Paramore tracks that I just have a nostalgic feeling for me from my teens and childhood. So yeah, these are a few tracks.
From Paramore, I only know three songs, I think.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Crush,
yeah, which
the,
one? Which one do you know? It's very
the code, Crush,
Crush. Yeah, the
and
Crush.
the other, I don't remember the last one.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
think more about it, but
They have quite a few like songs that are not really popular that you should check out, like Looking Up, that I enjoy very much. That are songs I think they did not get out as much or were not that big as like Crush, but very amazing too. So yeah. But growing up with that band, I think they will always have a special place in my heart still.
a place where you dream of performing live, or
Uh,
country,
a con
or whatever.
yeah, yeah, I think there might be a few countries. If I have to just name one venue, I think that's very hard. But places, I'd say randomly Sleepy Hollow. Who doesn't want to
Oh.
go there and just perform at a I think they have a music festival there going on. So at this music festival, if you can say, yeah, I'm from Sleepy, I play a Sleepy Hollow. That's amazing. Or Salem, Massachusetts, same stories, just a haunting place. If it's about a venue, I really, on the one hand, enjoy nice buildings like a castle where the acoustic hits so much. I enjoy that a lot when I can play at a castle or at like special cathedrals where you have this very crazy acoustics when you play acoustic sets. But on the other hand, if you're like really with the whole band, then you can really jam out. Like there are amazing festivals like Hellfest and stuff like that. So again, different lots of places, but yeah, I think Sleepy Hollow, Salem, or places in Canada that I would love to go back to and perform. It's always lovely.
It would be great at Bram's Castle,
Excuse me?
Bram's Castle, Dracula's Castle in Romania.
In a castle?
In I don't know how to say it in English. Romania.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that would be amazing too. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, now I can imagine. I know what you mean. And it's just this acoustics of those buildings and the environment and like the places in Romania or just Transylvania or yeah, just the places I mentioned before. That would probably fit my music very well. So that would be amazing. Who knows? I'll let you know when I'll travel there. But
I go there.
there were beautiful and very cool venues that I used to perform to. For example, in California, in San Diego, that are very nice venues too. Also in Switzerland, there are beautiful churches and stuff like that, or venues, festivals. So yeah, should not underestimate that. But there are beautiful places everywhere, I think.
And how would you like to be remembered as an artist in a few years?
Oh, that is also very deep question. So if yeah, I would love the people who enjoy listening to my music and follow what I do, that they remember me as like, yeah, exactly this artist, like this mystical artist who really tried to get out with her story, with her, yeah, with the stuff that happened to her in the past, with the mix out of the dreams and like this whole little universe of mine, that I will remember that they exactly know what kind of vibes I gave them, very positive ones, hopefully. And yeah, in the best case, yeah, we should say they won't be remembered. I'm still alive by then, I hope. So people will still know me and keep listening to my music and follow me if they enjoy what I do. Yeah.
And what advice would you give to female young musicians?
I think it's super important, first of all, the work that Femme Metal does and what you do, supporting like female artists, especially in that kind of music scene. I would just say, just go out and do exactly what you feel like, what is fully you, not what other people might expect from you. And I always say, if you're not hurting anything or anyone by it, you know, you're allowed to do it. You're not, so nobody should care. You're not hurting anybody by doing what you want. um, and just touch people by your art and by your music, and just go out with it. And still, I think all the female artists are super thankful for platforms and people like you guys to support us. So yeah, I'm very excited for all the artists creating new stuff, and for myself creating more things to listen to.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's
Thank you.
been a pleasure
Thank you
to
very much.
find you finally here.
Thanks a lot.